Hello and welcome to the tech video for the Hunter, Magic Archer, Penny from Brawl Stars, Dark Goblin, Archer mashup card. If you do end up enjoying or learning anything from today's video, then please do consider subscribing. I do these videos for like all cards, so it's well worth your time. Anyway, let's talk about 5 shells. The shells that come from Firecracker's Cracker, they each do 53 damage and pass through any unit for 4 tiles. The unit she hits will open up the cracker and take damage from all 5 shells for a total of 265 damage. This means that she'll one-shot anything up to archers, including herself. She is one of 2 cards in the game that are able to do this, with the other one being Fire Spirit. Her damage is very tidy for a 3-cost card, but her hit speed lets her down a lot. She takes an entire 3 seconds to reload that cracker, which is only a second quicker than the old Spark machine. This causes her DPS to fall to just 88, lower than a single goblin. So she's definitely not a unit you want to use against building targeters. Her 6-tile range is the same as a musketeer, so gives her an edge against most other ranged units, and her overall damage effect range is 10 tiles. Her sight range is also 10 tiles, meaning she'll rarely lose sight of a target. Using this, you are able to lure enemy units using a center plant and her knockback mechanic without taking any damage. There are a range of middle placements you can use for this, and luckily it isn't too difficult. In my opinion, this is her best usage case on defense. There's so much value you can obtain from these middle plants, including King Tower activations. You can lure tankier units so far onto your side that they retarget onto the king. A very useful feature if I do say so myself. Her not taking any damage is key because she only has 252 HP. This means she'll die to arrows, but will not die to a log. This interaction is key, seeing as arrows only have an 8% usage rate right now. The other 92% of matchups, you can use this free elixir card as a very efficient fireball bait. She is very comparable to a Magic Archer in this way. Keep her away from crown towers to avoid giving unnecessary spell value away, and use her to launch rockets at attacking units. She's very effective when you have more than one of her on the board, which you could do when running fireball bait. She has the ability to chip your opponent's tower like a Magic Archer as well, although she isn't too great at it. Placing her at the river to hit an oncoming unit will mean that she can get a single shell damage onto your opponent's crown tower. She is then knocked back and has to reposition, so isn't actually great at this. In short, she's another card that works like Magic Archer and needs to be spelled. She only costs 3 elixir and is resistant to most small spells, so works her way into fireball bait. This makes her incredibly good when stacked due to her slow attack speed now essentially being halved, and her splash damage essentially being doubled. When she's left alone to attack a crown tower, she only actually gets 1 hit for 265 damage. This is not good for 3 elixir. When you have to defend this, simply turn her to one side to avoid crown tower damage from her shells. This should only be done when your crown tower is close to death, however. You are able to use the shells to activate your king tower by placing a unit in this position. This is so much better than distracting her or just soaking the damage. Buildings that are just 3 tiles away from the king tower can also cause king tower activations. Your opponent may not know this, so it's a great way to bait them into helping you out with a king tower activation. When using her on defense, you want to place her head on to incoming tanks. This allows the shells to split off and dish out damage to any and all support your opponent decides to use. This even works against siege, with this placement behind the coal basket enabling her to hit the crown tower too. And with that, my tech for the Firecracker comes to a close. I think she's a very fun and unique card, but can't really see her being too strong right now. She's situational in the fact that she does specific things, but isn't very versatile in my opinion. Fireball or just any bait will be her best decks in my opinion. She's another one of those cards that dies quickly, but gets a ton of value when kept alive. I do like her as a card, but personally do not think she was anywhere near the power level of Battle Healer or Elixir Golem. However, don't take my word for gospel right now, she's only been out 5 hours as I'm finishing up this script. But yeah, that's the Firecracker for you. Let me know your thoughts on this new card in the comments down below. Do you like her? Do you think she's a bit lame? How do you see her fitting into the meta? But apart from that, lads, thank you all for watching, and peace.